Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of The Pink Patisserie. I'm Mia. I have been baking for a few years now and it is something that I definitely want to explore more of, which is why I started this channel with you guys, just so you can come on this journey with me. The first recipe that we're going to be making today is banana bread. Usually I put a bit of peanut butter in it as well, but today we are stepping away from that and we're just making this a nut-free recipe. If you're interested in making any of these recipes, then please just head to the link in the bio. It will take you straight to the page where all of my recipes will be uploaded onto there as well. So let's get to it. We need to measure out all of our ingredients and light a candle because it's autumn and I feel like we need the vibes going in here. Not sponsored, but Pepsi Max Cherry, an elite drink. Sandalwood mask. Got this from HomeSense. Smells divine. And I stayed in Mexico, I stayed in a hotel, and this smell just reminds me of the hotel smell. I say that about a lot of things, but this one specifically definitely does, so we're gonna burn this. Don't do this without a responsible adult, kids. First things first, we want to wash our hands and measure out our ingredients. The trusty bananas. Usually I use 2 for my recipe. Okay, so a little adjustment has been made. I don't have self-raising flour, so we're going to make it. Today is a bit of a different recipe as well because I don't actually have any self-raising flour. So we've had to make our own with plain flour and baking powder. We'll see how this goes. It might not work. It's an experiment for everybody. If you're lazy like me, my favourite hack is to just pour things straight into the bowl. Rather than throwing them away, guys, just use them up because it's not going to be a waste then, which is why I love making banana bread. My masher, it's 2 bananas for every loaf. Mash your bananas up. You can just use a fork for this as well. I'm just lazy and I don't want to. There we go. I love baking for other people more than I love baking for myself, just because I think it brings joy to everyone. This is my mixer. Here I have got my butter, my sugar. So we're just going to blend that together till it creates a nice, light consistency, light and fluffy. And there we go. So it looks like that. At this point, I just am mediocrely lining my thing. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees just after you've mixed all of this. So next we are going to add in the flour, and this should usually be self-raising flour, but at the moment it is plain flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder in it. I don't know how this is going to work. We'll find out. So you want to halve that, and then we're going to whisk that together, and then it's going to look a little bit like that. Then we're going to whisk in our 2 eggs straight after we put the butter and the sugar in. And then we whisk that together. That looks like this. So it looks a bit like a cake batter. This part is the key part of making a good banana bread. You want to fold in the rest of your ingredients. So you don't want to whisk them in. So grab your spatula and let's fold in the rest of the ingredients. So in goes the other half of the flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You want a teaspoon of vanilla syrup or extract. And then we are going to put in my secret ingredient, which is the chocolate chips. These go in both the peanut butter one and the regular one. So we're going to put these in, just like that. If you're putting peanut butter into your recipe as well, mix that in with the eggs. So mix it before you put the flour in, just because the eggs help to break down that stiffness of the peanut butter. And then the main event is the banana. So just get that all in there. And then all of these can go in at the same time, and we just fold that into the recipe. So the best technique for folding is just pulling it round and just really trying to get all in there. Like so. And then you just have to keep doing that until everything is all folded in. So yeah, we're just going to fold in all of that into the mixture. This is how simple and easy it is. It literally takes you 10 minutes to actually make, and then it takes you about 50 minutes for it to cook, 45. You want to make sure that that stick that you poke in comes out nice and clean. Yeah, this is the consistency. What we're going to do now is just pour this on a baking tray, like so. And then afterwards, you're just going to want to smooth it down a little bit, just so it's all even in there. Don't forget to preheat your oven, obviously, to 180. And then into the oven it goes. You're going to want to go in the oven for about 45 minutes. Maybe check it halfway through, just so you can see how it's getting on. You want it to be a nice brown consistency on the outside, so that when you bite into it, it's super crunchy on the outside. You want that nice crunch on that outer shell. Obviously, that's the good part of a loaf. And then obviously, really nice and soft and warm and gooey in the middle. So now we're going to clean up, which this is the best thing about this recipe as well. It doesn't need too much. You don't actually have to measure out every single one of your ingredients. I prefer to, so I can see how much I've got of each thing, and it just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker for that process. But obviously you don't have to. You can just use your scales in the box, I think. I never measure this out. I just measure with the heart. You probably should measure it out, but that, I don't know. And then you want warm-ish water. You don't just keep mixing it until you've got the correct consistency that you like, and until all of the little clumps have disappeared. Perfect. So I have now made my icing sugar. She has literally just come out the oven. And there we have my chocolate chip banana bread loaf. Give it a try. And that is some really good banana bread, if I don't say so myself. I will see you in the next episode. If you have any suggestions of anything that you'd like me to bake, please put that down in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully I see you again soon for another episode of the Pink Patisserie, but I am now going to go and eat probably this entire life. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.